Hello YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I'm doing my end of September wrap-up. Oh boy, so I read so much this September. It is officially like my largest reading month of the entire year. However, some of the books I read are for a secret project, so I won't be reviewing them yet. It is coming. I just keep mentioning a secret project and telling nobody anything about it. I don't know. There is some details on my Patreon, so if you want more details about the secret project, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. Links for that in the description down below. But in the meantime, these are all the rest of the books I did read at the end of September that I have to review. There's 4 of them that aren't for a secret project, so let's go. Let's talk about them. First category is contemporary fiction, and I have 2 of them. First things first, I read Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of those auto-buy authors for me. No matter what she puts out, I'm going to pre-order and enjoy. So as soon as this came in, I was like, I need to read it right now. This is happening. So I kind of abandoned TBR list a little bit and just started reading this one. And I don't know. I'll admit it took me a really long time to get into this one, and I don't know if it was an intentional literary decision by the author or not. I'm not 100% sure, but basically Carrie Soto is such like a prickly heroine to the point where she's downright unlikable even for the author, for the readers. And like, here's the thing, like I hate using the word unlikable because like it's bullshit. There's a lot of unlikable characters who are infinitely fascinating to watch or read, etc. Like, for example, Cersei from Game of Thrones. Unlikable as shit, but hot damn is she my favorite character. She's so fascinating to watch and everything that happens to her. So, unlikable is not a term I like to use, but maybe unpleasant, I'll say. It's just like an unpleasant reading experience being in Carrie Soto's mind. Considering the amount of growth this character achieves by the end of the book isn't enough for me to want to be in this mindset for so long that it's, I don't know. There's like a disconnect here, I think. And a part of it's like being true to the character, because this is, you know, a very prickly character who's very goal-oriented. Carrie Soto, we were briefly introduced to in Malibu Rising. She was a professional tennis player. She's the best female tennis player in the world. And she like has this like world record of like how many Grand Slams she won, etc. And, you know, time goes on. She's retired. Someone else is coming along, about to break her record. So Carrie decides, I'm going to come back out of retirement. I can't have that happen. So we kind of do get into a lot of her, like, psychology here, how, like, she equates being successful in life with winning, and if you don't win, it means you're a complete failure. Something that I feel a lot of people could probably relate to, but I don't know, she's just so closed off, and that's part of her character and part of her character growth, but it doesn't help me as a reader root for her and feel connected. Because, like, I get it, but, like, so much of her mental state isn't even like really honest with herself that I'm having to infer a lot of things, which is normally a good thing. But in this one, I'm looking for something that's not there, essentially. So I don't know. This one wasn't like the best. I think by the end of the book, things started clicking better, and I did start getting into it. But just mind you, there's so much tennis in this book. Like, so much tennis. I would say probably 20% of this book is just play-by-play tennis. So, I mean, if you took out all the play-by-play tennis, this book is going to be a lot shorter. Like, it probably, if you add them all up together, it's at least 50 pages of the book. It's just play-by-play tennis. So, that also doesn't help with pacing, I would say, because it's just tennis. It's not even being equated to something else, like, as, like, a literary illusion. It's just tennis. So I don't know, it's like by the end I liked it, so I ended up giving it like 3.75 stars. I round up because I'm a nice person, so it got 4 officially, but it's 3.75. And I think this is more of a for the fans book. Like, I think if this is the first Taylor Jenkins Reid book you read, you probably wouldn't read other stuff by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But like, I'm gonna tell you right now, she's written better stuff. So this one is just kind of like, it's there. It's a B-side. It's not her best work, but by the end I liked it enough that like I enjoyed it, but like it took a long time to get there, and I'm looking for things that just weren't there. So I don't know if these were specific literary choices the author made, and if so, I don't know how effective they were, but there you go. It was an awkward reading experience because I was looking for things that just weren't there, but I ended up liking it overall. So there's that. I also read After Hours on Milagro Street by Angelina Lopez. And you know what? I really enjoyed this. Like, I was going into it thinking, I'm like, it'll be fine. You know, it'd be like 3.5. I'll round up to 4. Bing, bang, boom, you're done. Like, that's what I was assuming. But you know what? I ended up giving it like 4.5 stars. Like, I actually really enjoyed my time with this book, surprisingly. Not that I was expecting it to be bad. I just thought it was going to be like a general rom-com. It'll be fun and be over. But like, this had layers I wasn't expecting. I really enjoyed this. It is like a rom-com. There's a prickly heroine and like a very bookish man. And they're trying to save like her family bar. And it's enemies to lovers. All of that's fine. I've seen like iterations of that before, but they threw in other stuff. So there's also like a ghost. I love ghost stuff. Like, I will watch hours of ghost hunting shows. I know it's garbage TV. I don't care. I love it. I love ghost hunting shows so much. So knowing this one had a ghost in it and there's like little ghosty things, like I wasn't expecting a spooky element and I was very excited. And also there's like a little bit of like a treasure hunt and I was like, what? There's also treasure? Like they just kept giving me more things than like I was expecting. It's like I ordered one thing but I got like extra things on top that are like are bonuses for free. And I was like, what? Free avocado? Like it was like that. Guacamole's never free, and when you get it for free, it's a special occasion, and that's how this book made me feel. And it's, you know, it's also very spicy. Like, oh my, they bang in chapter 1. I'm just gonna say it. There's chapter 1 banging. And also a lot of like emotional growth. Alex, our heroine, she's again very prickly. She pushes a lot of people away. We kind of get into that trauma a bit and like growing from that. It's like this is like bread and butter stuff with like rom-coms. We've seen it. And then you have Jeremiah. He is a very large man. Like he's just like a big guy, but he's like a nerd. Like he'll wear an ironic bow tie. Like he's just like nerdy. And they both are kind of, he lives above the bar. That's like her family's bar and stuff. And they're like trying to fight back against like racism and evil developers and stuff trying to like gentrify stuff. So there's also like a fight against gentrification in here. They address racism in here. I'm like, this has so many things I wasn't expecting and I'm so pleasantly surprised. It's like just layer after layer of good stuff. And I was shocked. I don't know. I don't want it to come across like I thought this was going to be bad. Like I thought it was going to be fine. Was my baseline. And then it had so much stuff I wasn't expecting because none of these things are at all mentioned in the blurb whatsoever. So I was just so happy. Every time I got something new, I was like, oh, and there's a ghost, and there's treasure, and like they're sticking it to racists. Oh my gosh, I love this. So yes, I had an amazing time with this book. I didn't give it like a full 5 because like, I don't know. I felt like there's like little things that probably could have been addressed better, but it's pretty darn close. It's 4.75 stars. There you go. Like it's not like 100% perfect, but like hot damn did I thoroughly enjoy my whole time with this. Also, I think I mentioned already, but just in case I haven't, it's spicy. There's like lots of spice in this, so enjoy. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend. Next category is fantasy, and I kind of read 2 of them. I read The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning, and like overall, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. It was better than average, but when I look at it objectively, like, there's problems. If it's just for feels, like, I had a good time reading this. Mind you, this is a YA fantasy. I think there's no magical elements in this book. It just kind of happens in a made-up fantasy land. It's a made-up world where people, like, kind of medievally, people have swords and stuff. So it's a made-up world, but there's no magic. So I don't know how much of a fantasy this is. It's just like a made-up world. And it's, I don't know, like, it keeps getting blurbed as it is kind of like a gender-bent Princess Bride retelling. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's bullshit. It is barely related to the Princess Bride. Barely. Like, the tiniest, like, hint of something is in there because it is a princess and a stable boy. In this one, the princess is coming to rescue the stable boy, so that would be the switch. And there's like a little nuggets throughout the thing, but like it's so far away from the Princess Bride that I feel like it's gonna make people disappointed because they're gonna expect more Princess Bride shit. And they go in and they're like, there is no Princess Bride shit. So stop it. I was guilty of it too because that's how it was blurbed to me. And it's not Princess Bride. Let's all forget this. So like I was saying, the main idea of like someone rescuing their love from someone else. I mean, that's a lot of things, not just Princess Bride. But we're following Amma. She's a princess. She's coming to rescue Luca, who's her stable boy. Batman? Yeah. Okay, we're back. I had to take a pause because my dog was, his spidey sense was tingling, and it's because the UPS man was next door. Not even at our house. But anyway, thank you, Batman, for protecting us from the evil UPS man. But, yeah, so we have a princess rescuing, her stable boy. From nefarious plans, and it's a lot of political intrigue and like rules of succession. There are allusions to heavier subject matter in here, like marital rights. I'll leave it at that. Nothing on page, but there is allusion to that happening. And like, I don't know, like, for a YA fantasy, like, I think it's successful. Like, I'm not the target reader for this. The target reader is a YA audience. So, I think if, like, high school kids read this, and they don't have all of the knowledge that's in my brain, and I've read, like, a gajillion books at this point, like, this is gonna be really fun. It's action-packed, it's stabby, it's got, like, some really good villains in here, and I think it's, like, fun for what it is. Although, like, calling it Princess Bride is just a disservice. And overall, like, there's like things that are just like, okay, come on. Like, a lot of maybe cliched kind of tropes are in here to the point where they didn't do anything new and fresh with them. They're just there. But it's fine. I'm not the target audience for this as an adult. If I'm putting myself in the mindset of a YA reader, I think it's pretty fun. It's action, it's adventure, there's a little bit of romance. I don't think the romance is necessarily super well developed because they don't spend a lot of time developing the romance. We're just told that it is. So that was another factor why I didn't rate it higher, because they could have spent some more time with some tension, some building of this romance, rather than just being like, yep, they love each other, there you go, rather than like letting it develop. So it's fine. You know what it is? It's fine. If you have like a teenager in your life, I think they would like it. But it's okay. I don't know if I would necessarily continue on. I feel like I have it all in my brain already. I know what's gonna happen. Just from reading this one, I have like I can assume. So it's fine. It's good. It's whatever. It's 3.5 stars. So last up, I have Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. Now, here's the thing. I only read like a third of this book, and then like I couldn't make myself pick it back up. And like, here's the thing, I'm not DNFing this. This is not a DNF book. I loved the first third of this book. It's really, really good. I love this series. This is the end of the trilogy. It's an incredible series that I don't feel like gets enough hype. It's so freaking good. Definitely older YA. I would say this is more of like a new adult story rather than a YA story. It is a YA fantasy with dragons and stuff, but like the complexity of these characters and their emotions and the political atmosphere makes it feel a little bit older. So I would say this is new adult. And it's really good. I mean, this is the finale book, so it's hard to get into everything going on here, but it's a land, people had dragons, and these people who own dragons were oppressing the regular people and like using their dragons to do it, bad stuff. Revolution happens, all the dragon riders get kicked out. Now it's like a quote democracy, but not really. There's still more work to be done to save the kingdom, essentially. Revolution happened, but maybe it wasn't a perfect revolution. And a lot of like political strategy, like conflicting viewpoints, also conflicting like feelings for certain people, ideologies. There's a lot going on here, and also dragons. Like it's a moody book about feelings that has dragons, rather than it's a book about dragons that has moody feelings. So go in knowing that is really complex and interesting. These characters are so three-dimensional, and I love it. It's just when I started reading this one, and I got a third of the way in, and I've been loving it. It's so good. But here's the thing. I was getting such bad anxiety thinking about reading more of it because I know this book is going to hurt me before it's over. Like emotional damage, like that meme, like that's gonna be me. It's just gonna be emotionally taxing. It's gonna make me cry. It's gonna hurt my feelings because there's some very evil characters in this, and I know they're gonna pull some bullshit, and I can't put up with it right now. Like it wasn't good for my mental health. So like I put pause on it. I re-upped the audiobook from the library. It's not ready yet, but when it comes back in, I'll read some more of it. I'm gonna take my time so I can like process my emotions and I don't just read it all and then just fall into a book coma and like be really burnt out. So I think I'm taking the right approach with how I'm feeling about the book, but hot damn, is it so good. Like this is already a solid 4. We're just seeing how much it's gonna build on top. Like, is it gonna get 4.5, 4.7? It's gonna be a 5. I don't know. I don't know how well they stick the landing in this one. It's the finale. So I have nothing but like amazing hopes for the future for this book, but I know it's gonna hurt me and it's gonna rip out my still beating heart. So I only read the first third and I loved it so far, but like I'm gonna take my time with this one. All right, so those are all of the books I read that weren't part of my secret project. And yeah, overall pretty good stuff, I think. Nothing was really particularly bad. Some things that just took longer for me to warm up to than others, but I had a good time with stuff. And also all my secret project books. Those ones have been interesting, to say the least. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know, what's a book that surprised you? Like you thought you were gonna go in and get one thing, and then it had all these extra things on top, and you're like, oh my gosh, what? Like, what was that book for you? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you want cool exclusive content, including a book club, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. The links for that are in the description down below. And on that note, I will see you guys soon. Bye!